We all know about story of Tarzan. The orphan Tarzan grows up in the remote African wilderness, raised by the gentle gorilla Kala. When a British expedition enters the jungle, Tarzan encounters the beautiful Jane and recognizes that, like her, he's human. Falling in love with Jane, Tarzan is torn between embracing civilization and staying with his gorilla family, which becomes threatened by the ruthless hunter Clayton. But today we are going to step out real-life Tarzan. Before start, don't forget to subscribe over channel and press bell icon, now you never miss any of our new video. DeWet Du Toit, a former South African security guard, has turned himself into a real-life Tarzan in a bid to star in a film about the jungle hero. The 24-year-old unemployed bodybuilder became obsessed by the legend of Tarzan while living in Namibia as a young boy, where his father was a collector of Tarzan books and comics. DeWet now hopes he will be spotted by Hollywood scouts looking for a new leading man to play Tarzan. The 24-year-old hung up his uniform and slipped into a leopard skin loincloth to swing through the trees just like the jungle hero he idolizes. Obsessed by the celluloid wildman, DeWet spends his days swinging through the African jungle. The farmer's son said, "I'm like Tarzan in so many ways. My best friend is an elephant called Shaka, and I spend more time with monkeys, zebras and crocodiles than I do with people. People might say I'm crazy, but I know this is what I was born to do." He explained. "I make a platform in a tree to keep away from prowling leopards and snakes on the ground. It does get lonely. I would love to find a Jane to help me pass the time. But he added, I'm not the kind of guy who loves partying, I certainly never get drunk. I prefer to eat the fruits and berries that I find in the jungle. I also know what insects to eat. It would take a special kind of girl that could join me in the jungle." Kody Antle. Kody grew up working with the animals at the preserve. When he was younger, he helped his father, Doc Antle, train the smaller cats. Now he is the facility's main trainer and travels to Asia and Africa to help train staff at other wildlife facilities. Evenings, he sometimes shares his virtual reality goggles with the gibbons and chimps before they go to bed. Kody calls himself the real Tarzan. The scion of a wild animal empire built by his father Bagav and Doc Antle, Kody's first friends were tiger cubs, plunked into his crib. His big sister growing up was Bubbles, the 9,000-pound African elephant. His diapers were changed alongside those the gentle orangutans here who also became siblings. "I prefer being called the real-life Tarzan," he says a little later, walking a 350-pound Bengal on a chain. "I really believe I have some otherly connection with these animals because way I've been raised." We have this Tarzan-like connection, where the fictional character went for the loincloth look, Kody opts for safari gear and cargo pants. But he does have that mane of hair that most often is bound in a neat ponytail halfway down his back. Lisa Kytosaho. Swedish conservationist who is known for her work in cheetah rehabilitation and wildlife conservation. She is the head of Western Cape Cheetah Conservation and shares photos of the different animals she cares for through Instagram for her over 160,000 followers. Lisa Kytosaho lives in Africa and is the head of the Western Cape Cheetah Conservation. Normally aggressive towards humans, Lisa has no problem hugging and kissing the pack of 16 cheetahs that she's raised as her own. And I'm sure they don't mind it either. She's very per-die. Some cheetahs that I have raised are quite far in the process to be rehabilitated and have had less human contact for several years and can now be considered to have become more wild, she said. Two of these, males almost 7 years old, who I raised since they were 5 months, only allow me to enter their enclosure and to touch and interact with them. No one else is able to do this. Shaun Ellis is an English animal researcher who is notable for living among wolves and for adopting a pack of abandoned North American timber wolf pups. He is the founder of Wolf Pack Management and is involved in a number of research projects in Poland and at Yellowstone National Park in the United States. He has worked with wolves since 1990, and before that he studied the red fox in the UK and then coyote in Canada. Kody Antle. Doc's daughter was born and raised at the preserve and calls her life a dream come true. Visiting Africa, going with my father on photo shoots, and best of all helping preserve and protect the most beautiful creatures in the world. I wouldn't trade this life for anything, she says. China York. China runs the Miami facility. she grew up in Pensacola, Florida, and recalls working at Domino's Pizza at age 17, where her biggest concern was getting enough sauce on each slice. "The time came to live my dream of working with big cats," she says, "and now I direct our overseas safaris, which include tours to Africa and Thailand. I couldn't ask for a better life." China York is a liger expert who lives at Myrtle Beach Safari, South Carolina, USA. Myrtle Beach Safari is the most famous liger place on earth, and China York is proudly part of this institution. In fact, China York is working at Myrtle Beach Safari for more than 1.5 decades. She works as an animal trainer and animal caretaker at Myrtle Beach Safari. China York has helped the authorities at Myrtle Beach Safari to raise a lot of ligers from being little cubs to massive big cats. China York has more than 15 years of experience with the big cats, which specifically include ligers, tabby tigers, white tigers, Bengal tigers, Siberian tigers and Sumatran tigers as well. Myrtle Beach Safari is also affiliated with Rare Species Fund and hope you enjoy this video. Tell us about video in comment section. Subscribe over channel for more interesting videos. Thanks for watching.